This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Yes, this is the end of the Pokemon part of Birth Month, Day 13. We're finishing it off with Pokemon Heroes, the movie, or Pokemon Heroes, the movie Latios and Latias. I don't know. Now, we're trying to figure out where this goes. I'm assuming this is still Gen 2, which where, like, at the end of Gen 1, they're trying to introduce stuff like Snubbull and Lugia, that stuff. So, here, Latios and Latias, which are Gen 3, and I think Why Not was introduced in the Camp Pikachu short, which was also Gen 3, is the evolved form of Wobbuffet, who I haven't been mentioning because it's just a guy where he pops out of his Pokeball and Jesse just puts him back in. This movie, so this was my brother's first DVD he got. Yes, and he watched it a lot. Like a lot. And we shared a room, so I had to see it a lot. He liked to watch things on repeat a lot. So the story here is that Ash and his friends are in the very, very Venice, Italy looking city of Alto Mare. And while there, in a race through the gondola, basically, he meets Latios and Latias. Latias, which is in the form of an human woman named Bianca. No, not Bianca Belair with the hair. No, and Team Rocket. No, not that Team Rocket. Another Team Rocket. Because the actual Team Rocket isn't allowed to do anything but funny little dabs. And they show up here and do absolutely nothing. They're barely in the plot. No, a different Team Rocket. Names that correspond with the running joke of using famous Western outlaws' names. We'll get to it. I want to find this orb gem thing. I forgot what it's called. For reasons. I don't really know what they're trying to do. And by the end, it feels like the writers didn't know why they were doing this. Because like, we gotta find this so we can go get this machine. Okay, but we are told that this machine is a protection thing in case a tidal wave was to happen or something, right? And like, I don't know, it gets confusing. So right away, if you're watching the DVD, you're already like thrown off. Not only do they play the same intro from the last movie, shot for shot, they then go straight into the Team Rocket people trying to, steal stuff. Break in and steal stuff. So there's supposed to be a prelude that tells the story of Latios and Latias. That is not on here on the DVD at all. Does that say DD Live? We don't get that. We just get, it goes from that same opening from the last one with the world of Pokemon, introducing Ash and everything. And then we meet the new Team Rocket, Annie and Oakley. Yes, they have a Team Rocket. They don't know the characters are named after famous outlaws: Jesse and James, Butch and Cassidy, Annie and Oakley. They get it. They get it. I don't know if there's any more. Those are the three I get. And these two are women, of course, Annie and Oakley. And they're after this orb thing. And they're trying to find Latios and Latias. So, what I've learned from the internet and other YouTubers' videos is that long once upon a time ago's time, there was a big tidal wave was going to destroy the town of Alto Mare. And Latios sacrificed himself to save this town, this city. And an orb was left with his Dew, whatever, Sun Dew, or what it was called, Soul Dew. That's what the Soul Dew as his essence in it, and they use that to power this machine that will protect the city. Also, his children, Latios and Latias, were left behind and live in a secret garden in this town. No time for that, because I'm on a master quest. That's right, we get the opening with water again, where they're racing on the gondola, basically. It's a water Pokemon race, so Ash is using Totodile, who's somehow able to pull Ash. I don't know. He's strong, I guess. And Misty's using Corsola. And she has at this point. And Brock is watching because he has no water Pokemon. And Onyx cannot swim. One thing to note. This is the last movie with Misty ever. And this is the last movie with Brock until the Rise of Darkrai. I think is the one that he's back in. Because then we get May and whatever the Max for the next two movies. And then Brock comes back. Because Max goes bye-bye. And then, yeah. And again, May and Max, that's when I started dipping out of it. Maybe it's just because Brock and Misty were gone. I don't know, but this was definitely the last movie I watched before. So maybe this is like the end of my generation movies. I've seen other ones. I've seen Jirachi, and I've seen Destiny Deoxys. But I don't know. This was the last one I watched for a while. That when they were coming out. Actually, I think I watched Pokemon Forever after this. It was on Cartoon Network or something. Anyway, in the middle of this race, Latios and Latias decide to fuck with Ash and drive him all around the freaking gondola and turn him in the wrong directions. Why did they do this? I don't understand this. It's implied that Latios has a crush on him, which brings up a whole nother thing. Apparently there was a thing with Chikorita gave him a kiss, but now I don't know. And he sees after they crash, which he kind of even Totodile thinks he did it. He says, and you can hear him say, "I'm sorry." It's okay, but he didn't even do it though. And then he sees this mysterious girl that he starts chasing around for no reason. And then when he sees her again, he ends up at this museum where he learns about Latios and all that. Latios and Latias, excuse me. And then with this guy, Lorenzo, who is voiced by Wayne Grayson, who is a Joey Wheelie. That's right. And Michelangelo from the 2003 Ninja Turtles, the 4 Kids. Yeah. That show, which was not bad. I got the song playing my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Someone else starts. Stick together no matter what. If all fails, then it's time to kick butt. I like being a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that voice, and it was Wayne Grayson. Yes. So once again, we have a legendary Pokemon that doesn't speak. Well, in human form. They don't speak English. You know, quiet, doesn't speak. But my God, they had to come up with the most annoying sound for Latios and Latias to make. Just ooh, hey, ooh, constantly. I was like, I had to mute it because it was getting annoying. They just constantly kept doing it. It was like, I don't know. It was annoying. It was really getting to me. So, any nuclear terrible villains, the whole thing is they're trying to capture Latios and Latias. They end up capturing Latios and finding the Soul Dew and powering this machine. And somehow, Oakley becomes obsessed with absolute power. Yes, and thinks she can somehow use this machine, created for protection, to take over the world. Of course. Except, no, not of course, because what the hell are you talking about? Oh, I'm scared of a bunch of stuff. Brock and Misty are sidelined because reasons. Because it's Ash's movie, of course. I'm really going through this because there's really not a lot to this movie. There's talking and oh, look at that, and they're underwater, but they're not because Latios has a way to project underwater to them. And, oh, so it's like an aquarium type situation. You know, those walk-in aquariums, you can see everything around you. Those are real cool. Unless you've seen Jaws 3 and you're just like, nope, not going down there. Nope, nope, no. I'd be nervous to go down there again after seeing Jaws 3. Y'all ain't seen Jaws 3? A fake ass looking shark is gonna crash into that, and bad 3D effects are gonna hit us. I seen it. Anyway, so then somehow they stop the machine, but they gotta get Latios out. Even Latios tries, they can't. But then they do ? And he's hurt. I think I don't know. I started to space out here because it's just like what is going on, and then the soul dude is left. And Annie goes to touch it, and Lorenzo's like, no, don't touch it! And she touches it, which breaks it, and causes a big tidal wave to come in. So, of course, like his papa before him, Latios has to sacrifice himself to save this little town. And so at this point, I'm sitting here going, what happened to the other Team Rocket? I think they showed up, were knocked out, on Team Rocket's blasting off, and we never see them again. It's literally, we have to have them in here. Because when they showed up, I'm like, how the hell did they follow him here? And they're not even in the movie. And then you have, these two are the Team Rocket. And then we get locked in this machine, and, we don't see them again, so I assume they died in there. And yeah, and so then that Ash and them prepared to leave. And then we see someone who looks a lot like Bianca come up and give him a smoochie and a drawing. And like, oh, was that Bianca or Latias? Well, let's see. Latias cannot speak in her human form. And he didn't really know Bianca enough for it to be like that, so it's Latias. But we don't want the kids to think that a Pokemon would kiss a human. Even though we already seen the Chikorita thing. But, yeah. I don't know. This is the most meh one. I like that they added more stuff to the soundtrack. It wasn't just score. They had, like, actual... I'm gonna do... Actual music playing. This is... Also, it's very weird. This one didn't really have any previews, but when I started that, there's Disney stuff on it, and I'm like... What? This wasn't even aired on Disney XD yet. I was like, what Disney? Well, because it's Miramax. And Miramax was owned by Disney. It's the Lionsgate release. And this is a re-release DVD. This wasn't the first one. I found this in a Walmart bin. Whereas Pokemon Heroes, my brother got it when it first came out. So it's going to have all that stuff. Oh, and by the way, the instrumental theme, I don't know if it's the Master Quest instrumental theme. But the theme that plays on the menu is very similar to the dubbed Dragon Ball Z theme for the DVDs. Listen to the Dragon Ball Z theme, the dubbed version that's for the DVDs. And then listen to the menu music for this. And tell me it's not similar. It is. I'll give it a low middle of the road. This was fine. This was my generation of Pokemons. So, I had Ruby and Sapphire, and that was I had Ruby, I should say. That was kind of the last Pokemon game I played until my brother got into it, and he had Diamond and Pearl. He had both, even though when I was younger, so you can't have both. You can only have one or the other. So I went with Ruby because it was red. Although I did technically have 2 Gen 2 games because I had Silver and Crystal, which was the Suicune game. How come Entei didn't get one? Or Raikou? Raikou didn't even get his own damn movie. Not that Suicune had much to do in that movie to begin with, but yeah, this is kind of a whimper when it comes to these movies. I kind of want to do a ranking, but I don't want to dedicate a whole video to it. So let me just go here and tell you how it stands. Pokemon Heroes, Pokemon Mewtwo Returns, Pokemon 2000, Pokemon 3, Pokemon Forever, and Pokemon the first movie. That's where they stand. Number 1, Pokemon the first movie. So I like Pokemon Forever. It had its issues, but it was fine. Bad CGI monstrosity. I don't know. A lot of people say that Pokemon 2000 is similar. I just think there's not. There's a better villain in Forever, but Leonard Part 6 doesn't do anything in the second movie. And the whole thing with Enter the Unknown, a bunch of hoopla, hoopla, hoopla. It just doesn't, no. So, what are your thoughts on Pokemon Heroes? Leave a comment below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.